Alright, so today I'm going to be replacing my upper control arm bushings, and this one doesn't look quite as bad, but I've got a lot of noise in the front, and this one is definitely, I don't know if I can show you how much play there. I can't, it has to be down on the ground, but I had it up on a drive-on rack at a shop, and this thing gets shot. So we're going to be doing those today, and I've got the tires off the ground. I don't know if you can see that, but basically I've got it precariously up on blocks. I've got my floor jack off the transfer case shield just as a backup, and I'm going to take, I think I'm going to start on this side, and I'll take the wheel off and put that underneath the spindle area as also a safety. And let's come around and show you how these, well, actually I can probably get it from here. So normally, so this is the rough country kit, and just to be fair to rough country, those bushings that we're replacing did not come with the kit. Those are OE bushings. But normally this upper control arm goes up to the body from the factory, and it's a stamped steel control arm, but rough country runs them down to the lower control arm as a connecting point, and there's a Heim joint in here, and they call that X flex or X something, I don't remember, but a little different geometry than factory. But we'll get those going, and I'm a little intimidated by this job. I've seen some YouTube videos, and let's see what we get. So I'm on the driver's side, and I've seen in other videos where they had trouble pivoting the axle once they get the control arm off. So what I'm going to try and do is one side at a time. I don't know if that's going to work. It might not, but I've also hooked a ratchet strap up to the furthest point out here to get the best leverage, and ran it up here. There's a hole in the inner apron. I don't know if you can see that. And I put some tension on it. And I'm gonna pull this bolt. Let's see, where is it? I'm gonna pull the bolt right there, and we'll see how easy it comes out. So I thought I was recording on that last bit, but apparently I wasn't. So I did get this off, and I actually already have one of the bearings out. Not bearings, bushings. Here it is. It came out this way, and I will be honest with you. I used this little air chisel from Harbor Freight. It was $12.99, and it came with this. You probably could have done it with that, but I bought like a 4-piece kit that had this in it and some other things, and it was like $5.99. And then I have a old ass 11-gallon compressor that I inherited from one of my family members, and basically just got on the back side of that and just started hitting the edges, and as soon as it kind of folded in a few places, it just pushed out. And like I said, that's a cheap air compressor with a cheap air chisel. Got to figure out what your time is worth if you want to sit there and try and do it with a hand chisel and a hammer, which is possible, but it's going to take you probably 10 times longer. So at this point, last night I put my bushings in the freezer. I don't know if that'll help, but can't hurt. Right now I'm going to just clean up any burrs around the edges. I'm going to put a little bit of grease on them. I borrowed a ball joint brush from AutoZone, and I'm going to, like I said, deburr the edges on that, and go get my bushings and open up this ball joint kit and see if I can get this done. So this is how I have it set up. I think usually the cup that captures, actually I didn't even need this cup now that I think about it, because it doesn't push all the way through. But I think this is supposed to be, this is the screw side, is supposed to be capturing this. But I reversed it because I couldn't get in here. So basically I set it up like that, and I put my impact on that. That was 7/8, or it could be the metric equivalent, but a 7/8 fit for me. And I compressed it. Now this side doesn't push in all the way, I understand, and we'll find out, but the other side pushes in further. That side has a little bit left over. Let's see what happens when I try and take it apart. So what I found was, a lot of the videos, they had to pivot the axle this way to get it lined up. And I don't know if it's because of long arm kit, but I actually had to, no, I was opposite. They had to pivot the axle that way to get it lined up, and I was opposite. So what I did was I ran a ratchet strap from this, I think they call it the intermediate shaft. Anyway, it's a steering shaft that goes across, and I ran it up to the core support. Just put a little tension on it, not too much, and then I put a jack under the just the edge of the pinion casting. Put a little tension on that, and it lined up pretty good. I've got my my alignment pry bar through there. So next I'm going to try and put the bolt back through and chase the alignment bar out as I do that. But I won't be able to record it because I've had some technical issues with my tripod, so I have a feeling it's not going to be easy, because I think as soon as the tapered edge goes back through that hole, it's gonna get cockeyed. But here we go. Worked. Pardon my neighbor's landscaping, but I put the alignment pry bar pin thing through here, and I leaned on it a little bit, got this started, tapped on this, actually turned it a little bit with a socket and chased it through, and then when I got to the side and the alignment pin was all the way knocked out, it wasn't quite lined up, so I jacked the back side of this pinion up just a little bit more, tapped on the top here, and it lined right up, and I tightened it up. Now again, because this has a long arm kit, you, if your stock, might have to do it the opposite way. You might have to tilt the top that way, and if that's the case, you can't really use the pinion. So you got to consider that. But there's going to be some rotation of the axle, basically the caster, once this comes apart, that you'll have to try and overcome to put that bolt through there. So next I'm going for this side. Alright, I've got this one out, and it came out looking like, focus, it came out looking like this. It wasn't as bad as the other side. I actually had to press the rubber out, but I'm going to do one, I'm going to do them both. So now I'm going to go to the freezer and get the other one and press that one in. Now one thing I had to do was I had to put a wrench in there to keep that from collapsing. So I'm going to put my impact there, tighten that down, see how that goes. Alright, so on the passenger side, I'm laying on my back, so I hope you can get this view here, but on the passenger side, that tower coming off the axle needs to rotate backwards, opposite of what I needed on the driver's side. So what I've done is, let's see, I've run a 2x4 from the back of the pinion up to, where is it? It's kind of wedged in there behind the bump stop. On my vehicle it was 15¼ inches, and then I'm going to jack it up from the front of the spring perch on the passenger side and see if I can get it to rotate. So wish me luck. Alright, that took me like an hour and a half. So I've got, I think that's where I left off. I don't know if that did anything. I wound up with 3 ratchet straps, 2 down here to the base of this tower, pulling it over, and then I came in from the top right here with those alignment pry bars down, and let's see if we can get it in there, and then I strapped off to that to get some higher leverage. And then I wound up coming in from the passenger side with my medium alignment pin, pulling on it, and wound up getting it in finally here. And I also have a floor jack here, trying to twist it. So that was a bitch, but I got it. I also disconnected my sway bar link here. So I don't know what did it, combination of all that stuff, but you just got to stay at it and think about geometry and leverage and things like that. I don't know how to explain it honestly, but I got it. So still got to put the nut on that side and put my sway bar link back on, put my tire back on, take it for a test drive. Oh, and I slipped this over the top to keep this gold hook from sliding down too far. It was interfering with my access to the bolt hole, so that was my way of keeping it up higher than the bolt hole. And that thing is from the AutoZone kit that I rented for free. So let me button this up and we'll go for a little test drive.